What is up, everybody? I see I got Jason Phelp in the house. Shout out to you, Jason. Welcome back to the Superdwarf Show live. This is brought to you by Ship Your Reptiles. They are the OGs when it comes to reptile shipping. If you guys are going to Tinley Park this weekend, make sure to stop by their booth and say hello to the lovely workers. One of them in particular is one that I'm married to, so she would probably love to meet you face to face. Hey, Brandon Cox. So you may notice that Jeremy is not here, and so we don't have the typical setup. It's just a guy on his cell phone getting ready for Tinley, and that allows us to leave the studio. So we're going to leave that little world behind and go for a little walk around the shop. Are you guys ready? You want to check out the tour? Can you guys hear me okay? We all good? Am I doing this all by myself? Well, or terribly? I don't know. Speaking of Ship Your Reptiles, we've got their whole booth. There's a couple of projects that I've been working on. So you guys have probably seen the shipping booth before there. Dutchman, you do need one of my babies. I agree. We have an ingoing, outgoing table. This is cool. I built it with all the cute, little like pipe details, and then I buried them on the undersides of the shelves so you can't really see them at all. Nevertheless, there it is. Not to mention, we are stepping up in the world. Let me take you outside. For those of you guys who've never seen the outside of the building, we've been hiding here. Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome, welcome. See, I didn't know if everybody in the town would love to know the fact that there are a bunch of reptiles over here. As you can see, we're right on this little busy highway. Everybody's coming home from work. Here is the shop, at least the upstairs of it. And here is our brand new billboard. So, we're coming out of the closet. We are reptile lovers. Can't be helped. I've tried. My mother was horrified when I told her when I was young. There's nothing that you can do about it. I love reptiles. It's the way it's going to go. All right. So, on this tour, if you guys want to stop me, if you guys want to see something, feel free. Go ahead and do that. I think that that would be awesome. So we've got really just a mess around the shop, but it's kind of a cool mess since we are getting ready for Tinley. I'll show you what's going on. Along with the sign comes a whole slew of different pets and animals. This is kind of like Hadley's little area over here for our educational programs. So we're building that out. We've got bits and pieces, the trade show booth, like old generations of it, parts we're not using. But a bunch of other enclosures, you may recognize some of them, like the little focus cube there. This is for an area where we'll have kids in classrooms and stuff come in. Now, if you guys, hi Leanne, what's up, XM from Spain? Welcome. Glad we caught you. If you guys are a part of Patreon, then these little shop walkthroughs are probably feel a little bit more familiar to you. But you'll see there's Karma's new cage, obviously still in construction, but I have been emptying it out and we are going to start working on it again. Here's her current cage, and we're going to show you something very exciting that's going on in there. This is her future hide spot. For those of you that don't know, Karma is our 21-foot. Well, here, we've got a local newspaper bit on her. You see her all stretched out there on the paper. She's our very large reticulated python, and she's got some exciting news too. Now, a lot of the things we build around here are a little probably too heavy duty, but I don't want to stop. So out here in the backyard where we have Retic Fest, you'll notice, well, first of all, the moving truck that we're loading up for Tinley, and two more giant, these are now 40-foot shipping containers. Karma's is a 20-footer, believe it or not. And parts of this thing have found itself all through the shop. So two 40-footers are going to go a long way. So this is what's really exciting. Some of you guys have been waiting for this. This is pretty sweet. Let me turn the lights on here to get the ambiance and the mood going. So Karma was loaded up with follicles. That means she was developing eggs inside. And at her size and her age, we were worried about her potentially slugging out. I thought it'd be better for her to have a fertile clutch. So even though we don't really breed mainland reticulated pythons, I made a phone call and found a home for all the babies for this clutch. And so we decided to go ahead and breed her. I let the guy who's getting the clutch select the male. Let me turn around. Well, here, we'll just do it like this. Lay down next to her. This is a big old pile of gigantic snake. She's perfectly beehived up on her eggs there. And as long as we were having her lay some eggs, we thought it would be kind of cool to just allow her to do some maternal incubation and see how that goes. So again, we're not really perpetuating the 20+ foot snake thing for pets around here or whatever, but we found a taker for all of the babies. And so pretty happy about that. And it's pretty cool to see her go in there. I think we're going to have to start some kind of a pool about how many eggs you guys think are going to be in there. What do you think, Steven? Any guesses? How many numbers? Numbers of eggs did Karma lay? I'll tell you, it was a very good pile. Oh, she had one little egg without veins, and it was amazing. I put a time lapse on her as she was laying, and she was able to like roll that one egg off to keep it away from the rest. And so that was pretty sweet. You'll notice she's got her giant pool over here, but we gave her a little water bowl closer by just so that she doesn't have to get out all the way. 58. Any other guesses? Guesses in the comments. Let's see. We may have to start some kind of official pool. Maybe we'll do that on Patreon with some prizes and stuff. If you guys are not on Patreon, what are you doing? You got to jump in. 22 eggs? I'm sorry, Mr. Spaniard. You're going to have to go higher than that, I'm sure. It was a lot. I'll give you that. It was a lot. 22 eggs we can get out of one of our super dwarfs. And this girl's eggs are not much bigger than super dwarfs. It's kind of a fallacy that like big snakes have big eggs and little snakes have little eggs. That's not really the way that it goes. Hers aren't much bigger than some of the super dwarf eggs that we hatch. She just had a ton of them. So I believe she was, this is her third clutch. And I think her other clutches were in the 60s and 70s. So what's up, Will? How's it going, Michael from Louisiana? We're going to go down to the snake room. Now, the thing about Wednesday nights, it's a great time for live streaming, but it's always our big kind of tear the shop apart day. So even in the midst of packing for Tinley, we've got Marilyn's here. Hi, Marilyn. I asked her if she wanted to switch jobs and play with baby snakes today, and do you know what she said? She's like, nah, I'll do dishes. Crazy. I think she's a robot. What's that? Too many dishes. There's too many baby snakes, too. I just see where you're prior. There are a lot of dishes. We pile them up pretty quick around here. So, other new exciting things that are going on. So here's the bulk of the breeding room. This is a lot of like our little Superdwarf girls and stuff. These are mostly like our 4-foot enclosures. These are the ones that we've designed for ourselves. To give you guys perspective, this is like one wall of the facility. There's about 35 of them here. This is one of the little playgrounds in between. The snakes can run around, get some exercise, get some verticality going. Those are going to go in between. This whole wall is actually something that we're going to, I know, right, Michael? Like, I don't want to play with the snakes. I'll just do the dishes. It's crazy. So, Leanne, 73, good guess. We're going to tear this whole wall out and make a matching row here. It'll have a couple of aisles in it. But you can see we have a lot of wasted space. I mean, it's like a chill, relaxing space. We got the old leather couch and giant banner on the wall, but we probably wouldn't have to fill the blank spaces on our walls if we had the footprint built out. So that's something that I'm doing. You might have noticed our 3 new Mike Wilbanks incubators. These are pretty cool. They're not set up. We're not going to be running our super dwarves in them as of yet. Those are just for the house snakes. So gearing up on those. Do you guys want to take a quick peek at the house snake room? I'll take you through there if you want. Everyone always, I'm getting a lot of questions about if we're taking house snakes to Tinley, and the answer is no, sadly. But Bushveld Reptiles, that's who we get ours from. That's definitely who you should get yours from. They are cool. So these are the current incubators for house snakes set up. Here's some of the house snakes. House snake room has developed. Let me show you some cute ones. I'm not really into the hybrid house snake thing, but there are hypo greens. Let me show you what they look like as an adult. So hypo comes from capensis. The green is another species. They've crossed them to take that kind of what's usually like a deep olive green color. Come here, Bix. This is Bix. He was named by Adam Wickens when he came down here. And they made them hypos. See that? So they're like a cute light green color. Very nice. Let's talk herps. House snakes count as herps, Jordan, no matter how much You disagree. So, anyways, I don't do as good. I don't think they have as good a like fertility and success, at least not for me. But we did hatch some super cute. Oh, they haven't even shed yet. Let me show you. There's a hypo green and a surprise. Let's flip this guy around. Check it out. Now that is a baby hypo green. I know it looks kind of gray on, well, greenish gray, but it's deep in blue. And then this is its sibling from two hypo greens. What the heck? So I think what happened here is that this is a hypo green and this must be a sun glow green. There must have been a hidden albino genetic in there, which a lot of those are, it's not too much of a surprise in the house snakes. We keep hatching all kinds of cool stuff on accident all the time because I think a lot of the original breeders mixed all their foundational projects up back in the day. So yeah, house snakes there. They're going to expand. You can see all the ugly backsides of the racks and stuff. We're going to build those out. I'm actually going to be moving our adult breeder house snakes into ball python breeding tubs. So those are going to get bigger. Michael, Bushveld Reptiles, go hit them up. They'll hook you up. But here's our storage and junk and crap. Some of that's going to go out into one of those new shipping containers for right now. So that'll be fun. Here we're on the lower floor. You can get another look at the backyard. It's looking all Retic Fest ready. Nice prime green, beautiful. So currently we use, you'll see our walls all empty. This is kind of fun. This is typically hidden behind the racks, but this is something that we found when we first bought this building. So if we ever ask a trivia question for prizes later, what year was our building built? Now you know the answer. Carved into one of the foundation stones. That's pretty cool. So anyways, we currently use these freedom breeders for like our baby grow-ups, right? So like the beautiful gray goose here. You know, this little girl would go into this tank, which is about as long as she is. Gives her a decent amount of space, but honestly, even with the Superdwarfs, they don't last very long. They're not quite arboreal enough. So we're going to take our fossorial house snakes and put them in those. I think they'll do a lot better. In the meantime, what we got, let me turn the lights out for dramatic effect. If you guys stick with us, we have snakes hatching, and I'll show you those too. Brand new morph in Superdwarf, actually. So this is our little focus cubed wall now. I've only got one of them lit up, but they're actually illuminated in here. And these are the racks. A lot of people were asking about those DIY red racks that we built with the Cambro tubs. I like them. I just didn't like messing with the lids. So we decided to go ahead, bite the bullet, and go in here. And what we'll do is set ourselves up professionally with Focus Cubed. These are pretty cool. This is one of the fun things about the Cambros. They have this little lip here, so it's very easy to add a basking shelf in there, which is really fun. So pretty cool stuff. The snakes love them. They slide in and out seamlessly. There's nowhere for even the most anxious snake to like rub its face or anything. And we could totally see what's going on. So like if they dropped a mouse or something like that, you can look right in and see. Look at this beautiful little Reach Dreams line Calatoa female. She's getting older now. She just turned 3. Isn't that incredible? 3 years old. These are the ones that any money that is raised by the sale of their babies someday is going to go to Lars. That was Forrest Fanning's son, who was, I think, about only 1 year old when his dad died. This was a breeding project I had with Forrest, so we're going to give all the proceeds to a trust in Lars' name. So that's pretty cool. So stay tuned for those. Here's a little sampling. You can go ahead and pause it and read all the labels and see everything that we'll have at Tinley. There's all the babies that are going, which is pretty cool. So we're going to set a bunch of these. Ooh, adult purple albinos. Let me see what I got for you, Mr. Brandon Cox. Now, caveat, this is a live video. We're thawing food out right now. So let's see. I have, let me see. Oh, I know. How about Lindsay? She's always a pretty girl. Told you they're going to be ready for food. Lindsay, calm down. She's actually really sweet. Just got to convince her that it's not time to eat. You're okay. Come here. I know, it smells like pigs and Wednesday's feeding day and we didn't give you anything. Our primary animal caretaker, Jake, is actually out sick today. Here's Lindsay. Let me see if she'll let me pull her out and hang. These albinos are getting cooler and cooler because they're getting smaller. And personally, I love the island locality looks, the pattern and everything. So here she is. This is an adult female. She went through the cycles and everything this year, but she didn't breed for us, didn't lay. She's more than ready to lay. This is a great, healthy adult size. She's very high percentage. Superdwarf purple albino. She was produced by my friend Richard Bilbo. He's pretty legendary for all the cool stuff that he's made, and a lot of his projects are incorporated into ours. So, but you see, she's about as big around as a ball python, and probably twice as long. So really good size, especially for, I mean, it's taken him 6 generations. Well, he didn't do all those generations, but 6 generations from mainland albino into that girl. So pretty crazy amount of work into these albinos. I'm telling you, the Superdwarf stuff is just getting good because we're just starting to get some cool new mutations into the really small sizes. All right. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, everyone loves that girl. She's a really good girl. She's definitely a nice little go-to. Okay, so here, well, let me show you the babies that are out so far. You guys might or might not know this, but one of my favorite projects to build on is the titanium. It's a recessive project. Everybody's sleeping on titanium. It's very cool. It's like a partially patternless mutation, and it makes the babies look so good. So I was kind of racing Chris McVicker to try to make the first Superdwarf titaniums, and he beat me by a long shot. So I went ahead, let him play, have his fun. I did make myself some females from my own bloodline, and then I bought a male from him, and these little babies just hatched. So his was a male Superdwarf titanium from his own bloodlines, and we bred it to a platinum het titanium female that I don't think, knew that was sitting on when he sold me the male. And I went ahead and made these. Check it out. What's up, Jeremy? Yeah, you guys could come meet Jeremy at Tinley too. It's going to be awesome. These are citrons. Look how clean they are. Look at the grays and the golds wrapping up. There's one platinum there in the middle that you can see. Very much like kind of Kalatoa influence on that from our bloodline, which is awesome. His are like old school Superdwarfs. But ours have just, and they're a mix between the two bloodlines looks, but this one looks a lot like Mama. She's a very Kalatoa look. It does not look like a nice high percentage Kalatoa platinum, only so crisp. Look at that size. See those blue little flames? Isn't that beautiful? So that is a baby het titanium. Now I told you, you guys would get to see some new stuff hatching. So check this out. Let's go look in the incubator, see if any are out. They've been crawling out throughout the day. Still got this old incubator. Everyone, here we go. There's your settings. How old do you think that paper is? It's at least after 2015 because I can see the original logo on there. But we've hatched a lot of retics out of this incubator. So this clutch was very exciting for a couple of different reasons. Let me get this set aside here. Sorry, guys. Ooh, don't look at those labels. Those are all top secret. Let me toss a little wire here. Come on. Boy, live streaming one hand, navigating snake incubators the other hand. All right, here we go. Okay, I see them crawling out there. You see that? We got a couple more out. This is pretty cool. There's going to be some gooey eggs. I apologize. Those of you not used to reality. There's a little citron. Ooh. Oh, man. Sounds like Miss Piggy's getting ready to go. So this is what's pretty cool here, guys. This is a titanium, and a couple are out of the egg, so I can show you. That's a titanium. What's up, Todd Danielson? Congratulations. I saw your name on blue tape downstairs. That's crazy. And here is the, especially if everyone knew what you got. This is the new one right there. That is a platinum titanium. So you can see it's like juiced orange. Very nice. Well, one of the exciting things about this clutch, and I'm spoiling it because we'll probably show a little video later. Can you guys see that? Those are twins. These are my first ever twin. Come on, focus. It doesn't focus the same in your YouTube live streaming. These are little tiny twin baby reticulated pythons, and they're titaniums. First time I've ever had titaniums, first time I got twins. I'm like such a proud papa. That's super cute. All right, you guys want to see one that's out of the egg? How much would one of the Superdwarfs cost? Well, if you're talking about Superdwarf titaniums, they're still pretty expensive. So far, Chris is the only one to have made them before this clutch, and he's only made, I think you can count probably like on one hand how many visual titaniums he's made. But if you're talking about just Superdwarfs, we have all kinds of cool stuff. They start at like $400. I even have, if you're quick about it, and you send an email to info@Reptiles, some pure Superdwarfs. These are like old school Superdwarf bloodlines, but they are pure Superdwarfs. So like mix of island localities that are starting at $550. So if you want like real deal Superdwarf stuff, $550. I think that's the cheapest that we've ever offered them. There's only a handful of them. But we were gonna like, kind of put like a half price on one whole clutch just to kind of get them out there so people could see them. All right, these are going to be wrinkly and miraculous. Here they are. These have not had their first shed yet, so they are, you can see a little umbilical cord there and everything that they still have on them when they come out. So they're very wrinkly and terrible looking. But look at the stripe on this titanium. See the black border and that clean white stripe? So beautiful. Hi, little cuteness. And then behind him, this is it. This is the, I'm hoping I got a male. This little baby is a beautiful female though. But this is the platinum titanium. This is one of my favorite colors bred into titanium. Kind of a classic. You see some crusty egg goo on there. But just a hint at the colors underneath. Look at that. Isn't that cool? They are awesome, Joshua. And I've had some plans. Honestly, some of you guys know I used to work at Prehistoric Pets, and I watched a lot of the original titanium combos hatch. And so I've had some ideas for things that I'd love to do with titanium for many, many, many years. But I first wanted to get them into Superdwarf. So platinum was a big part of it. And here we have the first platinum titaniums. Now we want to go much higher percentage with these. Hi, cutie. And there's a few other genetic traits that I want to put in here that I think will make some really like otherworldly looking snakes. This is a fresh hatch baby. Just crawled out today. You can see a big like yolk in the belly. Looks like it had a big meal, but it's all here in the back. So she'll live off of that for the first week or so while she waits to have a shed. And like I said, they're pretty scummy. If you wet them down, like when we wash them off as they're coming out of the egg, we can go wash that one little citron off. But if you wet them down, they're nice and clean. But those are super cool. And we actually have hiding in the rack over here a couple of those, a couple of citrons from Chris McVicker's line. Even platinum citrons. The citron is the nickname for a het titanium. So if you guys did want to get in on some of this project, like some of those platinum het titaniums, that's like the mother I used to make this clutch. You can see she was a small mom. That's the whole clutch. So when you're developing these things in Superdwarf instead of mainland, it takes a lot longer. You don't get the, the triple recessive every chance that you could, it's quite a lot more challenging to make them small, and then a lot more to celebrate once you do. So here's a cute new little citron. We'll see if we can get Marilyn to help me wash her off. Hello, baby. Welcome to the world. So these are 50% Superdwarf, to answer your question, Josh. These will actually start on like hopper mice or pinky rats for the first, couple months of life. Could I get a little rinse for a baby snake? Is that hot, cold, warm? Woohoo! Baby, I'm gonna rinse some of that egg glue off. Thank you, Marilyn. Look at that. You can really see that pattern. It's like a wet gemstone. Mr. Gundy in the house. Brian Gundy, we just hatched the first Superdwarf Platinum Titaniums. Very exciting. Fresh out of the Shire. How's it going? Richard must be in the house, huh? I missed your comment there. Look at that. Little Superdwarf Citron. You can see how clean it is. By clean, I mean very reduced speckling and bright colors in the back, which I love because it stacks so nicely on top of Sunfire and Platinum without taking away from what those other things are. Thank you, sir. We're very excited about them over here. Here's some other really cool ones. Do you guys want to see the legless clutch? These are really high percentage. These are kind of more our signature lines. So here's some normal ones. They're all wet and gooey too. But you can tell we did some selective breeding with the bloodlines. Take a look at those patterns. There's a little anery hiding in there, which we thought we might get. I was excited to see. But take a look at those thick blacks, crazy zigzags. Isn't that amazing? Richard Bilbo, if you're still watching, these are like your snake great-grandbabies, I think. Check it out. That's a nice anery. So you can see the selective breeding that we've gone on there. Very chaotic patterns up on the neck because this bloodline was a cross from our Karompa marbles. Let me show you what you guys wanted to see adults. Let me show you what one of the adults was. We predicted these would be 5 to 7 feet as adults, and we were not wrong. This is a 3-year-old male who sired that clutch. Hey, buddy, don't chomp on me. He's right here. He's maybe 5 feet. Woohoo! There he is. There's the whole snake. So, really pretty. I'm sure he's not completely done growing, but look at that. So the Karompa makes an insane amount of just chaotic pattern. You can see the thick and thin blacks there. And then Richard Bilbo's line is known for having like beautiful diamond zigzags and everything like that. So we wanted to put this Karompa marble bloodline, and we knew that he was a poshead anery, to a female that Richard produced that was a purple albino who was originally poshead anery, and she proved out. So once we ran this guy to her, we were able to prove it. So let me flip this around and show you what the next generation of Karompa marbles look like. And these ones, so these are the Karompa marbles crossed into Richard Bilbo's stuff. We've got some visual aneries. Look at that. And they're 100% het for purple. Look at, I'm talking about chaotic pattern. I know there's like little baby poops and stuff, guys. This is just like a little nursery tub for them. They're still absorbing their yolk, and they do kind of hang together in the wild. So we let them kind of hang together as babies until they have that first shed. So there's an anery to the left and a non-anery to the right. But look at that cool pattern. Super chaotic. To me, it almost looks like Tanzania or something. Like a Madagascan ground boa. Isn't that fun? Check that out. No, no half off. Oh, half off of the. You're talking about what I was just talking about, the half off the pure super dwarfs. Yeah, like they're not really half off. We just priced that whole clutch at half off for funsies. There are a couple of females, and they look really good. Like I said, they are most likely a blend of the island localities. So just like the craziness we were seeing on those babies, every baby in this clutch looks wildly different. Like if you get a whole clutch of, say, those Reach Dreams Kalatoas or Madus or Karampas, they're going to look similar. You know, they all have their little spins. But these babies that we have that are half off, if I had to guess, I'd say they're Kayawati and Kalatoa crossed. There might be a little Madu in there, but I think they're probably about half Kayawati. And so the Kayawati adds a real richness of color. Let's see if Pooh Bear is still in here. She's a Kayawati. She is still in here. Let me pull out a... This female just laid for us this year. We'll show you what a pure Kayawati looks like. But they're known for like really rich colors. And so these things have just super variable babies. They're F2s off the crosses too. So those of you that are familiar with biology, F1 hybrids or crosses of two lines tend to be kind of like a nice even blend between the two parental lineages. But if you line breed them, you cross them into each other, you get all kinds of craziness, like complete diversity. And that's what we were looking for, and that's exactly what we got. It was super fun. So it was kind of cool to notice that in this clutch. This is a pure Coyote breeder female. She's 4.5. So yeah, Karampas are still the smallest, but it is incremental. The smallest three are the Kalatoas, the Madus, and the Karampas. I think the Karampas do have a little bit of an edge on the other two. And then you have, up from there, you have the Coyotes and the Tombolongans. Some of them are every bit as small as Kalatoas, but some of those ones can get a little bit bigger. Those are, people debate whether they're dwarf, super dwarf, whatever you want to call them. Most people call the Coyote super dwarf here in the States. And in Europe, they call the Tombolongan super dwarfs, interestingly. But yeah, and then you've got the Jamps and the Slayers, which are the much bigger ones. So very cool, though. So yes, Stephen Lewis, you can bug Joe about it. I know he's not taking any of them to Tinley. There are only 4 females in that. There's 13 snakes in that clutch. So there's only 4 females. So if you want one of those half-price females, I believe he's going to be mad at me if I quote prices because he'll be like, oh, you told him this crazy cheap price on the live. But hey, if you watch the live this long, you get it. So 450, what did I say? 550 on the males. Is that what I said? Right? 550 on the males, 650 bucks on the females. Pure Superdwarf females. Really cool. You also have with this breeding a chance that they are going to have the anery gene hiding in there, lurking in there. It's not something that I can guarantee, but I know that there's relatives and siblings to these animals that have produced aneries before. So that would be kind of cool. And they do look wildly different. It's a pretty fun clutch. So you guys have to hit them up about that. If there's 4 females and then, 9 males, I think. So very cool, cute little snakes. And they're going to make somebody some really good pets if you just wanted to try, your hand at a pure Superdwarf, see how it goes. So you guys can hit Joe up, info@reach@reptiles. You'll have to be patient with them, though, because we are on the road to Tinley. So we're going to be talking to thousands of people out there, and we'll try to get back with each of you as soon as we can. So that's what I have for you guys. Yeah, they are cool. And that's, well, for pets, this is exactly what we were doing for this clutch. I mean, we always have Super Dwarf crosses or Dwarf Super Dwarf crosses that make great pets, and you could get some simple morphs in there and still have a cheap price. But for, the pure Super Dwarfs, it's been many years since they were like pet priced. So we've got these kind of like nice pure Super Dwarf, good looking mutts. And so we're going to, get 13 lucky people out there with the unluckiest number that we could, turn some luck around for somebody, get some people some cool pure Superdwarf pets. So yeah, Karapa pure Superdwarf for a pet would be cool, but that's like a $7,500 pet. They're really hard to make. We can only make a couple every year. So and to date, we're still the only one that's made them. There's a few people that might be able to make them later this year. All right, if you guys are going to Tinley, come by the booth. One thing I hear all the time is like, you were talking, you were busy, I didn't get to say hi or whatever. Just come up and punch me in the arm and say, hey, what's going on? I would love to meet you guys. That's why we go to the show. It's always a million things to do, but we are there for you guys. We hope to see you at Tinley. Come by the booth, check out the babies, all those missing tubs up there. Cherry pick through all the babies that we have available. There's going to be a ton of stuff there. And new babies hatching every day, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys very much for liking the video. We appreciate you guys. Patreon, all Patreon tonight. We'll see you in the Zoom call. Those of you guys that aren't on Patreon, we'd love to hang out with you guys there. You might want to check it out. Plus, it comes with a free invite to Retic Fest. At least still free for this year. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll catch you next time. Next year, Dan Brown, just plan ahead.